Yeah, I saw the Blizzard dev say that tipping developers isn't a bad idea. Actually, hold on. Let me just pull up the exact one. I have not seen that, Aston, but I can look it up. The former boss of Blizzard Entertainment has suggested a post-purchase tip feature that would let players give 10 to 20 extra dollars to the developers of special games. That's definitely not going to the developers, that's just going to the studio. The developers won't see a dime of that shit. Former Blizzard president Mike Ybarra tweeted that he's often felt that upon completion of a particularly enjoyable single-player game, he'd like to give more money to the developers because it was worth more than my initial $70 and they didn't try to nickel and dime me every second. I don't know what world you're living in. I don't know what he's playing. Most of the $70 games that are coming out are really kind of half-baked and focused on trying to nickel and dime you. Oh, I'd be down, Shane, sure. I'd take a peek at it at the very least. Games Ybarra mentioned that had sparked such a feeling include Guerrilla's Horizon Zero Dawn, Sony Santa Monica's God of War, Rockstar's Red Dead Redemption 2, Larian's Baldur's Gate 3, and some From Software's Elden Ring. I know $70 is already a lot, but it's an option at the end of the game I wish I had at times. Some games are that special. It's fair to say that the reaction to the suggestion is mixed, with many people saying they're already forking out plenty of money for video games. Others have pointed out that some game platforms such as itch.io already allow tips and that small indie developers often use established platforms for donations. Many have also pointed out that any extra revenue generated through these tips would invariably end up in the pockets of the publishers as opposed to the developers themselves, at least for the majority of AAA releases, and if such a system were to hit the likes of Steam, the PlayStation Store, or Xbox Store, would Valve, Sony, and Microsoft all expect a cut? Yeah, of course they would. 100%. It's a stupid idea. Is everything $70 nowadays? Not everything. Most AAA games are going the path of $70, but not all of them. It's gradually shifting over, though. Helldivers 2 was like 30. Yeah, Helldivers 2 was 40. So, that game is doing everything right. It's also not AAA. But that game is doing everything right. On the other hand, others have backed the idea. Paul Kilduff Taylor, what a name, Kilduff Taylor, of Mode 7 Games tweeted, "People have discovered various ingenious ways to be angry about this, but adding a pay more if you want option to major stores would straightforwardly be excellent for devs. It works very well on Bandcamp." Yeah, it works well on Bandcamp because it's people independently releasing those projects. They actually see the money, the pay what you want model. The devs aren't going to see this shit. Like it mentions up here, the platforms are going to want to cut, and the publishers are mainly going to get that tip. Doesn't help the devs at all. Bad comparison. No, this isn't like a real thing they're implementing or anything. This was just the former Blizzard head saying that it's a cool idea. Ybarra ended his post acknowledging that the tipping idea won't be for everyone. I know most will dislike this idea, he said. By the way, I realize we are tired of tipping and everything else, but I view this different from a pressure to tip type scenario many face and give feedback on. I mean, I don't know why you'd view it differently. It's kind of just the same thing. They've added tipping to self-checkout machines, man. Tipping your landlord. Ugh. That was just a meme. That wasn't like a real movement they were trying to make. But yeah. Ugh. Here's hoping, Elijah. How else do we keep the robots in check? Yeah, I tipped the Walmart self-checkout machine as an investment into my safety in the future. He'll remember that. Tipping in general is just crazy to me. As a European, nobody's job should depend on it. I know, man. It's tragic. But it's not like there's nothing to really do to fight back against it. If you refuse to tip, the only person you're hurting is like the normal person that's working the job. So I always tip a lot. But I really do hate that they're not paid a decent wage for the work they do and instead have to rely on people to tip. It's fucking stupid. It is so stupid. RNG income. True. Yeah, RNG income. That's the way to do it, Jonathan. Some owners of places take the tips behind closed doors. Well, that's very sad. Yeah, I believe it. Loot box salary is the future. Amen, brother. Loot box salary is the future. I did see that DJ Khaled clip. I keep up with everything DJ Khaled adjacent. Thanks to membership, Elijah. Yeah, no, there's tipping and everything. I don't exactly know what that is, though, Kaya. Have you seen the Tippy cartoon skit about tipping the AI self-checkout? It's 6 months old, called Tippy. I have not seen it, but that's exactly what I was just talking about. I'm glad someone made a skit about it. My sister worked for Burlington, where they forced the cashiers to always ask for donations or be fired. They would net $30K a week and keep a portion. Holy shit. Jesus Christ.